and welcome to the week before your AP Literature exam. What the heck? It's next week. Actually, remember it was originally going to be this week, May 6th. That's wild. So next week, Wednesday, May 13th, 1 p.m., actually let's say 12:30 p.m., you need to log on early, is the AP Literature exam. I want you to be excited and not scared. So this is really our last week to prepare before that exam. This might be one of the more stressful weeks of our online learning so far, but please know that after that AP exam is over, I've got some fun stuff up my sleeve. I'm thinking we could do the blog post, maybe a letter to your future self or your past self. I love the time, those couple weeks after the AP exam, because we get to do a little more creative things and hopefully relieve a little bit of the stress that you've been feeling. So here's what I want every single one of you to know. Whether you are on task this week, if you don't even finish this video, if you're doubting yourself, if you've been doing everything, wherever you are, I need you to know you are prepared, you are smart. You've grown so much this year. You're a strong reader and writer. All of the test prep in the world doesn't take the place of the reading and learning that you've done for years. You came into my class as strong readers and writers, and you are gonna leave it even stronger. You are prepared for this exam, and I need you to trust yourself. Fitzgerald knows you can do it, right, Fitz? Next, I want to go over the end of the week feedback that a lot of you did this week. I'm super proud of everyone's productivity. Remember that question where I asked you to rate yourselves from 1 through 4, 4 being the most productive, 1 being really not productive at all. Most of you rated yourselves a 3 or a 4, which is really great. And nobody said 1, so I'm proud of you. That's a success in my book. I also noticed that most of you weren't super into that AP video lesson, but I'm really glad that you gave it a try and gave me your feedback on it. If you do like those videos, you now know where to find them and can watch another one if you have some time this week. Some of the recent ones are about writing style and sophistication, which I know a lot of you are wanting a little bit more work on, so maybe visit those, see what they have to offer. As far as AP prep coming up, most of you said you wanted to focus primarily on that. The survey said that the majority of you wanted 75 to 100% of AP practice this week, and so we're gonna go the full 100% because the exam is next week. Come in office hours, I'll give you another pep talk. I love hyping kids up for the AP exam. Next, I want to quickly comment on those Anna Karenina prose essays you did 2 weeks ago or last week, whenever you did it. I was kind of begging everyone to get it done whenever it got done. Overall, really excellent interpretations. I know this process is different from a real-timed testing environment because you had more time to work through the prompt and the passage, but that doesn't diminish the depth of your thought. Many of you had really excellent insights from the start. I saw this in your annotations and in your informal responses. I truly felt that many of you could have written that essay right away and it would have been really high quality. A couple things that I noticed. First, titles. Quite a few of you made titles, and honestly, I'm proud of you because I've been training you to do this like all school year. However, for the AP exam, do not worry about a title. That time is gonna go by fast. The title has nothing to do with your score, and I truly do not want you to do it on the AP exam. 2, parenthetical citations. Don't worry about parenthetical citations, parenthetical parentheses. On the AP exam, they'll know exactly where the quote is coming from. It'll also save you time when you're writing. You don't need to put the author's name. They know the author. The author's name is listed in the prompt. If anything, I would say use the line numbers that are listed for the passage, but you truly don't need them. Again, it's a time saver. Don't worry about doing that parenthetical citation. 3 is style. We never go out of style. We never go out of style. When in doubt about the clarity of a sentence, make it short. Clearer, precise sentences are better than long, wordy ones. You aren't gonna get that sophistication point because you're using long sentences with big words, but you can get it for being clear and concise. Remember that style and sophistication point isn't just like style in that literal sense. You can earn the sophistication point by demonstrating sophistication of thought or developing a complex literary argument. exploring complexities and tensions within the passage, which tons of you did, situating your interpretation within a broader context. This could be historically, with the world in general, accounting for alternative interpretations of a passage. I actually find this one really challenging. It's sort of like a counter argument for literature, and I honestly wouldn't really advise it. I think there are other ways to earn that point. The last one is employing a style that is consistently vivid and persuasive. And this last point, I think, is what a lot of you feel you need to earn that sophistication point, and it's quite simply only one of 5 ways. I think the first 3 points are where I see a lot of you succeeding and already getting that sophistication, and I think that is where you should devote your energy instead of like throwing in big vocabulary words or making long-winded sentences. Short sentences, clear wording, complex ideas. Overall, I have truly seen so much improvement from the start of this school year. Like, all these essays were complete, they were cohesive, and showed a close reading of this passage. You guys are prepared, you're ready. Like, you are ready. I love this point in the year because you guys don't even know how much you've grown, but I think about now compared to September and like, holy cow. Whew, it always makes me want to cry a little bit. As my other AP classes, I always cry at this time of year when I realize how proud I am. If you haven't already noticed, the first task this week is an AP testing logistics quiz. So what this quiz is about is the logistics or the sort of steps to taking the AP exam. This is totally separate from the AP exam content, and it's the same for each AP class. For those of you in more than one AP class, you only need to do the quiz once. I'm filming this on Sunday, and I know a couple of you have already done it, so you're good, you're done. But you're gonna see it from other teachers. If you have Mr. Hayford or Mr. Ertl or Miss Nelson, they're all gonna be posting it. This is just to ensure that everybody gets access to it and every single person submits it. We all have access to your answers, so your teachers can choose to give you points for it. I know I'm going to, or maybe they're just using it as sort of a check-in this week. Either way, once you do that quiz, you're done for however many AP classes. If you're only in AP Lit, then you only do it once. After completing the quiz, you need to log into the testing platform practice demo using the device you plan to use for your AP exam. If you are taking the exam at HAPA, just use a laptop because that's going to be what you're using at school. I would guess it's also probably going to be a Chromebook. Make sure that when you log into that testing demo platform that you enter practice instead of your actual exam ID. This will bring up a practice registration page. Practice going through this quickly, making sure you have all of the information prepared that you need to enter. Here you can see the timer on the bottom of the screen, and when that timer is up, the sort of fake exam will start. There is no prompt for this testing demo, but you can see how the screen will appear when there is a prompt. You can also practice doing that split screen view here, playing around with layouts that work for you. I want you to spend at least 5 or 10 minutes on this, just exploring and getting used to it. And again, if you're in other AP classes and a teacher has already asked you to do this for them, you only need to do it once. Your first major task for this week is a thesis evaluation. So what I've done is pulled some samples from your essays. You might recognize your writing in there, and it's because I took it without your permission. So your goal is to become an expert on those samples. I want you to make a copy of that document, do some digital annotations, and really think about how is this writer presenting their reading and argument about the text? Does it answer the prompt? And is it clearly written? Once you've taken some time with those samples, you're going to do a thesis evaluation quiz. This quiz is going to ask you the same 4 questions for each sample. First, you're going to have to copy and paste the section or sentences that you believe to be the thesis or is closest to the thesis. This could be part of a sentence, 1 sentence, or more than 1 sentence. Then you have to answer, to what extent does the thesis respond to the prompt? You are going to be giving 4 multiple choice options. ranging from basically it doesn't respond to the prompts at all and oh my gosh, yes, it's so good, this is an amazing thesis statement. And then you're gonna have to justify your response to that thesis ranking in a few sentences. And then lastly, you need to answer if we should give this writer the point for a thesis statement on the AP rubric. This rubric will be posted in our slides for the week as well as copied in the quiz itself so you can see it each time you are asked this question. I recommend maybe taking some time to think about how you're going to answer these before you do that quiz. It's not meant to be a surprise. I'm just calling it a quiz because it's in Google Forms and it looks like a quiz. Your last 2 tasks for the week are actually to choose your own tasks. After going through the survey and seeing what students wanted to focus on, I couldn't decide on options that would meet the needs of every student. I did choose thesis statements though for the whole class because I think that's something that all of us can benefit from, but others of you wanted to work on sophistication, style, commentary, practice essays in general, looking at sample essays. So I tried to make options that covered the most requested AP prep from the survey. So what you're gonna do is go into this document titled AP Prep Task Options. You need to complete 2 of the following options from this assignment sheet. Some tasks are easier than others, some are gonna take longer than others. The goal of this isn't to provide everyone with an exact equal amount of work, but to provide you with options that are gonna help you feel confident and prepared. You do have a little bit longer to complete these tasks. So your thesis quiz is due Friday night. I'm gonna give you until Sunday night to do these AP prep tasks. One, because next week is the exam and I'm probably not gonna assign any new work, maybe like a reflection or something creative. And 2, because I know some of you are in other AP classes and if they're like me, they're probably having that, oh my God moment, the AP test is next week and are probably giving you a lot of work. I wish you luck. So you can take some time on your own to read through these options. There are 4 options that I've fully explained, but I want to draw attention to option 5. Option 5 is really just building your own task. So if there's something you really want to do to practice that isn't on the list, I'm down. Maybe you want to conference with me about your writing. Maybe you want to do another AP video lesson. Maybe you have some practice on AP Classroom you want to do. If there's something I didn't list and you want to do it for one of your tasks, let me know right away and we'll set it up. Please take a look at this note at the bottom of the document. It says, these tasks are meant to be helpful, not overwhelming. If you want to adapt a task to suit your needs, just let me know. I'm really flexible this week before the AP exam. I want to meet you where you are, so just let me know where that is. A few more words of advice for all of you. If you feel overloaded this week, come and talk to me. My goal for this week is not to throw a bunch of last-minute stuff at you, but to help you feel confident in the skills you already have. If you feel something is too much for you, or you don't have time, you're trying to balance out work, come talk to me. We can figure it out. Also, please consider this for all of your AP classes. Maybe you are in AP EVS and you just feel amazing about that test, but you're like, I just gotta focus on like AP Gov this week or AP Calc. Let us all know. I guarantee we are willing to be flexible if it means you feel prepared and you feel confident. Or maybe you're only in AP Lit and so you're just gonna be killing it this week with AP practice. Each and every one of you is in a different place right now, and I respect that. This is the one week that I cannot emphasize enough. Communicate with us, communicate with me, with all of your teachers, with your family too. Everyone is here to support you. So my challenge for you going into this week is to do something entirely for yourself. Maybe it's drawing, writing, crafting, singing, playing music, taking a walk, inventing a character, developing an idea for a video game. Just whatever you do, don't do it for an audience. Don't post it, don't share it, just do it for you, do it for your soul and your well-being. I know many of us are craving social interactions right now, but we also have to take care of ourselves. And sometimes that means doing something that we're self-conscious about or don't feel good at, just to sort of nurture that creativity inside of us. I know I like doodling, I'm terrible at it, I will never show it to anybody, but maybe I'm gonna go do some doodles this week. Good luck this week. I also wanna make sure you watch your second video for the week, and it is at the very end of the slides. I recommend watching it when you feel really stuck or you just need a little pep talk. I think it's gonna really do that for you. It's the Shia LaBeouf video. Happy reading, happy writing, happy AP exam!